I don't have much of an opening statement. We've obviously talked about the Texas game, and now we're moving forward to Kansas. And we got our players back from break last night, practiced, and like always, day off today, and then back at it tomorrow. We're all looking forward to a good weeks of practice and traveling up to Lawrence and getting back on the field. It's always exciting to get back on the field when you don't finish like you wanted to in the last game. So players' attitude and morale, everything's really good. Just looking forward to a good week's practice.
You guys have had a pretty good recent road record and success in the road. What do you tell your guys to make that happen, and what's the attitude they kind of take?
We talk about being able to start fast in the game and playing with a lot of energy early. I think that they understand, most of us that follow college football realize that you need to start fast when you play on the road to try to do the best you can to take the crowd out of the game and not let momentum build. I think that's always important when we play on the road.
You spend a lot of time, Mike, making sure maybe the less experienced guys on your team don't get caught just looking at an opponent's win-loss record, especially in this situation, or is that really a topic at all?
Well, it is a topic. And earlier today on one of my radio shows, that same question was asked, and we had the discussion last night at the end of practice that similar to what I said about playing on the road is it's even magnified when you play a team that in some people's opinion may not be a team that you would get excited about playing. And we're not far enough along, we're not mature enough at key positions to overlook anybody at any time. It's been several years now that we've talked about in this room about the parity in college football and especially in this conference. And you just look at the scores across the country, and it's getting more and more exciting for television networks and the fans, and more difficult for the coaches because if you turn the ball over a couple times and miss a few tackles and the other team hits a couple plays, you can be in a difficult situation in the fourth quarter. And I think that's you just got to look at the scores, and you'll see that happening every Saturday.
Mike, you've mentioned that you would have preferred an off week later in the year instead of on off week play a game another off week. Do you feel like you got some things accomplished this past week during the bye week?
I think we had good practices. We were able to get out on the road and work hard in recruiting. The players came back last night and we're back on the field. And I think a perfect situation would be an open week after the fourth or fifth week and then maybe after the eighth or ninth week. But as we said, we can't do anything about it. But we tried to take full advantage of the situation that we have.
You mentioned parity, Coach. I think your players, even though you took a lump in your first Big 12 game, they still have every intention of chasing the Big 12 championship. And with the parity being like it is in the Big 12 this year, I mean, one loss may not end up being anything.
Well, we think that there's a one-loss team that could win. And maybe a two-loss team may win this league based on what's out there. I don't know that anybody knows. I think that West Virginia and Kansas State certainly have set themselves up early, but it's really early. And there's a lot of football out there. A lot of factors can play into that. You have to stay healthy. You got to take care of the football. I think most coaches in this league would agree with that. So that provides for an exciting 2 months coming up. That's what happens when you have an open week or 2 open weeks.
You talked about the defense at the end of that Texas game, third and fourth downs being critical. How much can you change anything between that game and this game in relation to that?
Well, I think it's important that we all understand third downs get you off the field, and sometimes in our league, fourth downs have to get you off the field. But again, I just watch some games. I don't watch a lot of football other than our opponents. But if you watch games, the critical areas in college football now, or especially in our league, are third down, limiting big plays, and taking care of the football. And it's not just one team. It's just about everybody in the league. And I think you'll see that teams that play well on third down or fourth down, take care of the football, and try to eliminate the big plays are the ones that are winning.
In what ways might you view J.W. Walsh differently now than you viewed him on September the 1st?
Well, he's got a couple games experience. He's has some of the same characteristics, and he's still very competitive, and his work ethic, his leadership abilities are really good. He's growing and maturing with the position through 150 plays or 200 plays, however many that he's been able to get out there on the field. His learning curve has started. You have to get into it a little bit before you can actually start to learn. And what I mean by that is, like, Whedon was here for 3 years before we played him, and he still went through that learning curve in his first 250, 300 snaps. So he has started that learning curve. He's made mistakes and corrected those mistakes, and then had successful plays to follow those mistakes. He's different in that way than he was September 1st.
What is a gamer? Do you view him differently? Is it maybe as a gamer, but you knew that all along?
It's too early to tell. There are players that play better in practice in a game than maybe what they've shown in practice. He hasn't been with the first team consistently. He worked with them some in the spring, and then he has in the last couple of weeks. But prior to that, he hasn't been with them consistently. He needs to stay with them for a while, and we'll see how he practices and how he develops. I hope he is a gamer. Guys that practice and play well in games usually end up with good results for our team.
Where's Wes at health-wise, coming out of the bye week?
Well, we're not going to talk about any injuries or any health issues with players on our team, but he's out there with us, and certainly day to day, just based on the pain that he has, and as it lessens throughout his recovery, he'll have an opportunity to do more in each practice.
When do you make the decision who goes on Saturday?
Saturday. Our practice reps won't change. And then I say Saturday. By Friday, I'm sure that everybody will know. Really the best way and the fairest way to put it is Wes's reps in practice will increase as his body allows.
Do you get a feel for how well he does the mental rep as far as, because as a player, you know this from being a quarterback, even if you're not out there, you can put yourself in that place, you can still pick things up. How's he done during this period with that?
At this point, he's a close race with Kendall Hunter for who talks the least during their career. And so I wish I could give you an answer. I'm going to guess he's pretty cerebral, and he understands, and he pays attention. He doesn't talk much. So it's really hard for me to say, but again, I would guess that he stays with it pretty good because I know he studies tape. I felt like that he studied tape like he was going to play against Texas. So that would be a sign that he's in tune pretty good.
I know you're not a true quarterback guy, but can you foresee some scenario where both these guys are playing a pretty heavy or active role with what's going on?
I think it would be wise for us to evaluate JW once Wes gets healthy and he's able to handle the workload. What was a positive in what he brought to our football team. And I don't know that anybody is willing to make a commitment, but up to this point, he's brought something to our team, and I don't think it would be smart for us to act like it hadn't happened and to not take advantage of him. If he were in another position, offense or defense, he would be in the game somewhere somehow, whether he'd be a pass rusher, a run stopper, a route runner, coverage guy, support safety. So just because he plays a quarterback position, we would need to not totally eliminate the thought of maybe using him to our advantage to help us win football games.